Andrew, it's probably not been set, but does anyone have any idea when the Alcoholic Beverage Day occurs in the legislature? It's usually sometime in February.
Yeah,
late February.
With some new leadership in the lower chamber now, we're not exactly sure if they're going to hold to that. But I mean, they've scheduled a few hearings, but nothing on alcoholic beverages yet that I've seen.
Derek Kane, welcome. Good to see you.
Good afternoon, everyone. And Happy New Year.
Okay, I have 3 o'clock, so I'm going to open the ATCC commission meeting January 15th, 2026, and we'll have a roll call. So we have Commissioner Silverstein here, Commissioner Rosarian.
Here.
Okay, we have a new commission member, Walter Mangles.
Here, it's also Tom. You call me Tom.
Okay, we'll call you Tom. Do we have new Commissioner Pat Murray and Commissioner Robert Poole available? Okay, well, we do have a quorum, so we're going to move ahead with the meeting. We have approval.
It looks like Pat just logged in. Sorry.
Who did?
Pat did.
Oh, Pat, great. We'll acknowledge Pat's here with us. I need approval of December 18th, 2025 meeting minutes. I'd make a motion for approval. I need a second. Okay.
Second.
Okay. A motion, a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Executive Director's report, Mr. Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and Happy New Year, everybody. First, I'd say welcome to our new commissioners. Really glad to have you here. We're glad to have you here for all the right reasons, plus you're going to help us make our quorum, which is important, and we need to do that. So we're grateful, really, to have you on board and looking forward to getting to know you better. And open invitation always to please come up and visit us if you'd like to. We'd love to show you around of our facility and our offices, and that's always there for anyone, of course, but also extend to you if you wish, and really to all of you, commissioners, if you wish to do a ride along. If you've done one in the past and you'd like to do another one just to get a sense of kind of where the rubber meets the road, we can hook you up with our agents and let you do a ride along and see what they do each day. So that's might be eye-opening, and you get to take a look at our property and evidence room, which can be fairly impressive too, I think. Mr. Chair, one thing I think, just as a procedurally perhaps, you may be open and hopefully willing to accept nominations for vice chair. We don't have in statute a requirement for vice chair like we do for chairman and like we do for the secretary position, but it has been helpful to us in the past, especially at times when you've not been able to attend. We immediately know who would be running the meeting. So if you're okay with that, I'd like to ask for maybe nominations for that position for next month, and the nominations come in over the course of the month, and maybe make it a topic next
Okay.
month.
Yeah, make it an agenda item. That'd be great.
Great. Okay. Appreciate that. And I'd also like to, if I may say, sorry to see one of our commission members go, and welcome to another. Our ex officio member for the Maryland State Police, James Hawk, Jim, is not going to be a commission member moving forward. And he's just been a tremendous ally and asset and help to us. He's been with us since our inception. It's been fantastic. So I'm really sorry to see him go. But at the same time, we're receiving Lieutenant Adam Howard, who works in the Criminal Enforcement Division. And Jim vouches for him tremendously, says he's a 20-year trooper who's risen to the rank of lieutenant. And so we're really welcome aboard, Lieutenant Howard. Glad to have you. And Jim, really sorry to see you go, but I hope we are able to keep in touch over the years. And I see Commissioner Poole has just joined as well, it looks like. So we have a full slate. Next item I wanted to bring up was something that's been going on for at least a year and a half, maybe even longer. And that is one of our lawsuits in which the commissioners were mentioned, as well as me and the Attorney General. The commissioners were eventually released from this lawsuit, but it was specifically dealing with beer and direct delivery of beer in Maryland. One of Maryland's laws was that a manufacturer in Maryland who met certain qualifications could deliver beer directly to a consumer. When I say deliver beer, that doesn't mean using a common carrier like UPS or FedEx. Rather, it's using an employee of the brewery to deliver beer to a consumer. Not wholly different than what a retailer can do in state right now. A retailer, with permission, may use an employee of the retailer to deliver beer directly to or to deliver any alcohol product directly to a consumer. In any event, relative to this, an attorney in state, Mr. Furlong, became a plaintiff in a case where we were sued, Mr. Furlong and two other brewers. The brewers were out-of-state brewers, one from Pennsylvania, one from Washington State. And the complaint was that we were allowing in-state brewers to do something that out-of-state brewers couldn't do. Mr. Furlong initiated this as a result of not being able to purchase product from the Pennsylvania or Washington State brewery. There were a variety of hearings and little modifications along the way, but in any event, early in December, we finally went to trial. It was a bench trial. It was in federal district court in Baltimore. And the judge promised a rapid verdict in this, and he did give it to us on December 23rd. He found in favor of the plaintiffs against us, against the state, saying that the state law was unconstitutional because it was in violation of the Commerce Clause, which is a theme with other cases that variety of alcohol laws have been struck down with nationally. In the judge's remedy for this, in filing for us, the judge's remedy was that we do not prohibit, or we do not apply certain elements of law to these out-of-state brewers. Obviously, we have to comply. We did find that his judgment was really broad and not specific enough to give us great direction. And it looks as if following the letter of his judgment would open up the direct shipping now using common carriers from an out-of-state brewer to a consumer in-state, but would actually have fewer restrictions on that out-of-state brewery than we already have on our in-state brewers. So we are going to be filing a request for the judge to amend his judgment to just be more specific and to hopefully, I'm going to use my terms now, to clean up the judgment so that it's actually something we can employ and do. Parallel to that, we've been in consultation with the AG's office and a variety of stakeholders, and we'll continue the discussion to determine if we should appeal the judge's finding to begin with, or if we should appeal his remedy, or should we just let it stand. And I don't know where we're going to fall on that. That's not as much of a decision that we're going to be making, but there'll be a lot of other factors and a lot of other input we get. But just to give you a heads up on that, the case is over, sort of, but we are in a position now potentially appealing it, but certainly asking for clarification on the judgment itself. Having said that, I'll have a couple of other comments toward the end, but I want to get the more exciting stuff in. So I would ask Mr. Herndon, if he would, as the director of our Field Enforcement Division, which for our new members, Jeff Herndon is a police officer. He's the director of the Field Enforcement Division. It's our largest division. It's all the sworn officers that we have that cover the state. And they are the ones who go out and do inspections and do enforcement activities and things along those lines. So, Jeff, would you please give us an update of last month's activities?
Absolutely. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Last night or last month, our agents were busy working on doing inspections of all retail establishments that are known to sell alcohol, tobacco, and check for the illegal sale of any type of cannabis products, or the unlicensed sales, I should say. During the course of the inspections, they had 19 reportable incidents throughout the state. They found and seized 63 packs of cigarettes, mostly all containing either no stamp, out-of-state stamps, or actually counterfeit stamps. They seized 92,000, almost 93,000 sticks of OTP, or other tobacco products, which is most likely the result of these products being brought into Maryland, into the state, and being placed into the stores without the appropriate excise tax being paid on them, meaning that they're not being purchased through a licensed wholesaler and the state is required. Our agents recovered over 14,000 packages of THC products. Those would be anything containing a level of THC to be of intoxicating levels, 0.5 milligrams per serving and above. And the packages would be including those of pre-rolled smoking blunts, cigarettes, gummies, and all the assorted other junk products that are most commonly found at tobacco shops and gas stations. Along with that, they had 848 grams of THC flower. So basically, you're looking at a combined retail value of products that were seized, $291,000. Then we have a combined tax loss to the state of Maryland through the excise tax at $38,600, which is quite sizable. This brings to the end of quarter number 2 for us. Since July 1st, the last half of 25, the first portion of this fiscal year, we've seized approximately $2.5 million worth of product out of retail establishments throughout the state. Now, $2 million of that is attributed to the illicit THC cannabis market, the unlicensed sales. And then the other 500,000 would be the tobacco products and to a smaller extent, some of the alcohol. So it's been busy. We've had legislation passed last year that went into effect July 1st. It's helped our efforts as far as the packaging and labeling laws are concerned, where all the cannabis THC products must be purchased through licensed dispensaries with the appropriate labels. And so we look forward to continued partnership with our sister agency, the Cannabis Administration, and working to help try to eliminate as much as the unlicensed sales as possible. That's about all we have.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate that. And I'd like to turn it over to, oh,
I
I'm
think
sorry.
we have a question. Is it Belinda Smith? Did you have a question? I saw her.
Yes, I just wanted to see if you could repeat what the OTP figures were for the period.
Sure. The other tobacco products that were seized during the month were almost 93,000 sticks. They're now counted as a stick of tobacco. We think of that as a single cigar. So if you have a 2-pack of Dutchmaster cigars or White House cigars that you would see on the shelf behind you at the gas station, if there's two cigars in that package, they each count as a stick. That's where we get the numbers for that. So it would be 92,000, 63 packs of cigarettes that didn't contain the proper stamps, and a $38,600 loss in excise tax. Does that answer it, Belinda?
Yes, thank you, sir.
You bet.
Okay, and so moving on to our licensing area, and I'll introduce for our new commissioners. Andrew Waters is the director of our licensing and trade practices and research and reporting division. And I mentioned that Jeff's division, field enforcement, is the largest. Andrew's division is the reason we all exist, and that is to provide licensing and regulatory structure to our legitimate market, and really to try and help these businesses succeed and understand the rules as they go along. So the rest of us are here to help Andrew and his division help the public, and that's our role. So Andrew, would you please give us a rundown of where things are in your division?
Sure, Jeff, you got it. We have a lot of new exciting projects on the horizon and recently released. We just published on our website, actually this week, the 2024 Tobacco Retail Modernization Act report. This analyzes tobacco retail locations in the state and sort of the youth tobacco use. This comes on the heels of last year's Senate Bill 1056. This was a very large collaborative effort, not only internally with our legal, comms, research team, but also externally with MDH, the Comptroller's Office, and the Department of Education. This report includes an interactive map, which is very cool. Definitely check it out on the website. You can search for tobacco retailers throughout the state. It highlights the density of these establishments and also touches on the public health impact. Very cool report. Highly recommend you check it out. Now that we're in 2026, we're already preparing for upcoming April renewals. This is for mainly our manufacturers and wholesalers, as well as caterers. This really begins for us in February. To that end, we'll be hosting a webinar on January 28th. This will cover a number of topics really specific to the manufacturing license, but definitely touch on the renewal process through our online portal. This is the first renewal cycle that these licenses will be using the new portal, so we want to make sure everybody feels comfortable and is ready for that. We continue to get a lot of positive feedback on the speed and efficiency of our processing times, which we are very proud of. And we hope to continue that into 2026. And in that same vein, I'll just finish with, we've issued 115 new licenses and permits since our last meeting in mid-December there. So that's all for me.
Thanks, Andrew. Quick question before you sign off there. Relative to the portal, Andrew mentioned the portal. We've been able to start now this year. Gosh, has it been a year now? Or is it, no, it's just, or is it just June? It was just June.
June 2025.
June. So just this past June, we've started an entirely online portal and site that allows people to apply for new licenses, to renew licenses, to make certain reports. Nothing, we've not had anything like that ever before. We've wanted to, we've been striving for it for years and years, probably more than a decade. And we finally got that. It's going very, very well. Most people overwhelmingly are using it. We're getting accolades for how easy it is. It uses the state's existing One Stop, which is a place for like a variety of different state business related functions. You start there and then you're directed to our specific process for issuing licenses. I'm really doing this for the instruction of our new commissioners, where it may have taken previously days, weeks, maybe longer because of a lot of email or land mail, snail mail back and forth to get information done. Now, this is real time. We are able to issue some licenses and permits within hours, definitely days, where before it could be weeks and months and a lot of frustration. So it's very, very successful. And Andrew also mentioned the Tobacco Retailer Modernization Act report. We actually published the hard copy of that back in, I think it was in April, maybe somewhere around there. So this isn't a new report, but it is an online interactive report. And what's really neat about it is when you look at these charts and graphs, you can interact with it to find more specifics about all of the participants. And what's really interesting, if you care about that at all, you can see some of the density areas, the denseness of areas where tobacco businesses are. You can see how close they are to a variety of health facilities or schools or treatment centers. So there's a lot of information packed in this. We want to do more of that kind of thing moving it forward in the future. So if you get a chance to take a look at it, let us know what you think, what works for you, what doesn't. And if you want to see more of that, because it takes a lot of time to do it, but we think it's going to be a very valuable tool. And just as a caution on that, it's a snapshot of that moment in time. So I don't want anybody to look at it and think, oh, that's where we stand today. Things change constantly in that arena. But as of when that report was published, which I think was back in October or thereabouts, that it was accurate as of that time. And now the data, the information remains static to that period of time, but it is interactive so you can see where we were. So thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. And I have just a couple of other things to cover, Mr. Chairman. One is really want to talk about our email addresses. So this is for the chairman specifically, or the chair. I'm sorry, not the chairman. It's for the commissioners specifically. Chairs, the commissioners, you each have been issued, in addition to your private email, which I know you like us to use often, you are issued a state email. And I just want to say so what we try to do in communicating with you is sending information to both your private emails and your state emails to make sure you get that. For the state emails, we do have to pay a fee. So we pay for those. I'm not saying you have to use it or you don't. If you really don't want the state email, just let us know and we'll just get you from that. But beyond the fee, there are some requirements and some privileges. Privileges are you have access to things that you're not going to have access to in your private email. So if you use your mail, you're going to get certain notifications, statewide notifications, and some other information that you're not going to get in your private email because it's not coming from us. So that's one benefit. But the cost of that is, and forgetting just what the physical cost is, you have to go through a security awareness. You have to use it every now and again, or it becomes inactive. And we do get repeated calls about inactive usage, and do we really want to keep reactivating it? We get that from our IT, the state IT department. The other cost is you have to go through a security awareness training every 3 months, some amount. The state wants to make certain that users of the email system are aware of what we can all do to secure the Maryland's IT system. And I bring that up because just this morning we got our quarterly alert that the awareness is done. So I would ask you, if you don't want the email address anymore, tell us and we can get rid of it, and you won't have certain accesses or notifications, but you won't have to do the security training and that sort of thing. But we're more than happy to keep it. I would ask that you sign into it just periodically, once a month, just to sign in to keep it active. And more so, when you see these security awareness training requirements, please do that. If you don't, as an agency, we get a ding for not having compliance, because the requirement is 100% compliance. So please just be aware of that. Along those lines, another benefit or not that you get as a result of using your state email is you get notified of other requirements and burdens that you have, such as having to make state ethics disclosures, which we all have to do. That's how you're going to get your notification that it's time. So, and it is time now. So we have to, generally speaking, we have to have these disclosures in by the end of April. There may be a requirement for our new commissioners to do it within the next 30 days. It's very simple to do. You go into the State Ethics Commission website, you set up an account. All of that is very, very simple. Believe me, I can do it. And so I can attest that it's simple. And then there's a series of questions that you'll fill in, which are pretty easy to fill in. The beauty of this is once you've done it the first time, your data remains there. So all you have to do every year after that is refresh your data. You don't have to go through entering everything again. It'll prompt you to refresh your data. So that's kind of nice. We have been without an assistant attorney general for a period of time now. It's just taken a little bit to get that replacement attorney general in. I'm happy to say that a new assistant attorney general will be starting next week. I don't know much about this person yet, but we'll make sure that at our next meeting, we ask this person to join in and share a little bit of information about himself. And let's see, I guess last, and this is just an update, just something we get to do every year that I think is enriching for all of us as an agency. We had our day of service on December 11th and if you heard this last month, I apologize, I wasn't there for that meeting, but I did get to go to the day of service. We went to the Franciscan Center again, which is a local Baltimore facility, and it's just enriching and rewarding to do that. And so when we do that, we always offer the opportunity for the commissioners to do it, and we'll do it again next year, I'm sure, and we'll make sure we offer you that. But it's a very rewarding, it gives you a sense of how fortunate you are, each of us are, and it's a very rewarding day, and it builds a level of camaraderie that's just amazing. So, Mr. Chair, that's the end of my report, and I turn it back over to you.
Thank you. Do we have any new business to discuss? If not, I'd ask for a motion for adjournment.
A motion.
I need a second, please.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. We will see you next month. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.